minus 0.7.
Dropped off on a butterfly, summer breeze and a green light. I'm taking off, dropped off on a butterfly, summer breeze.
2 years ago, I took the Mini 2SE to Jordan, and I told you it was still worth buying in 2024. That video did numbers. So naturally I thought, what if I keep on reviewing the same drone every 2 years for the rest of my career? Don't worry, I'm kidding. Kind of. This year, 2026, I brought the Mini 4K to Thailand, and I have some thoughts. We'll be talking the pros and cons, a range test over the actual Andaman Sea. Yes, I had to look up how to pronounce that.
Andaman.
And whether the Mini 4K makes sense to buy in 2026. Also, what's up with DJI having like 20 different drone options? I'm here to solve your analysis paralysis. This has potential to be one of the most cinematic range tests I've ever done, so here we are in Thailand. The night before, I had this thing ripping across the Andaman Sea, and I was actually really impressed because when I did the Mini 3 test in Norway, I actually got longer range in terms of meters on this Mini 2 SE.
Return to home.
That's the black screen of death, which always gives me a little bit of anxiety when I see it. When I was ripping on the way, I thought this might be a proposal or something. Here are just some interesting shots that I thought were cool while I was doing the range test, especially this one. I thought this reveal was pretty dope. This was taken the night before, and I reached 2,000 meters here,
Max
but then it
flight
was like a
distance
max distance away. Nope. Boom. Went to full red, and I can't stop the video recording anymore. 2,000, mind you. 2,000 and going. So on this range test a night later, I made sure that I like just extended that distance, and this is what we were able to come up with. Still choppy and working, 2100. Weak signal, adjust the antennas. Disconnect from aircraft, signal lost. Okay, the black screen, monochrome screen of death. This is me just landing it after 24 minutes of actual flight time, and we were able to get 2,175 meters out of this little guy.
Caution.
Fast in the lane, never slow, no change. Came with the flame, put the game to the shame.
This song is hitting so different, but I should probably talk about the drone again. So let's rapid fire through this. The first thing is sensor for sure. This thing shoots 4K 30. That's kind of the point of a DJI Mini 4K over the 2 SE. Really quick, if you're finding value in this video, it goes a really long way if you could just leave a like. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, and let's dive back in. For photography, this sensor shoots JPEG, but also RAW, so I'll show you here what I can do with a RAW image edited.
Fast in the lane, never slow, no change.
Shameless plug on my preset pack, but I also have a free one for you to download in the description. This sensor for the price is incredible, and if this is your first drone ever, I can highly recommend it.
My goal, gotta take it now, you blink.
Number 2 is battery life. If you're on a budget, you're not going to want to get the Fly More combo. So what I do is bring a portable power bank. I plug that into the USB-C, and you have to just like wait. There's a delay between your flight times, but at least you can charge on the go. When I was doing my range test, I also did a battery life test. This is real world usage, not DJI rating, so I got 24 minutes. Pro number 3 is price. It's $240 on sale. This thing's constantly going on sale, and in 2026 for a 4K drone, what else could you want? Number 4 is the size. So I have an Air 3S and this thing just fits nicely in that case. So it's all bundled up and I have everything I need for the 3S. But you can take this mini drone and just throw it in there as well. And that way it's like having a spare tire for a car. You just have a spare drone just in case something happens, which I did crash my 3S in Norway. Pro number 5 is that it's sub 250 grams, and depending on where you are in the world, that matters to you or it doesn't. I know the regulations are a little bit less in Canada, but not a ton. So it used to matter more, I think, and people used to think like, oh, I don't need a license to fly this thing, but restrictions are getting more and more intense, and even in Thailand, even though it's like a sub 250 gram drone, you still need to go through all the same regulations. Number 6, as you saw in that intro, quick shots are a really fun feature for a drone this cheap. The controller's pretty user-friendly as well if you are flying manual. If you want to use this thing professionally, you can definitely do that as well. I've had friends use it for weddings and the client doesn't know that this isn't some crazy cinematic drone. You can still get some really good shots with it. Oh, and lastly, there are some available ND filters for it, which I highly recommend if you're using this for video. Because PoBuddy's nerfed at $240, you do need to temper expectations, and these are the areas you need to do that. Con number 1 is no log footage, and if you don't know what that means, don't even worry, skip ahead. But if you're a color grading nerd and you want cinematic looking content, I would say this drone isn't necessarily for you. But that being said, can you color grade and try and push the colors on Rec 709 footage? Sure, and let's try and do it here. Con number 2 is I have the Mini 3 and it has a vertical orientation. So if you're primarily shooting for social media, you get a good clean 4K image out of that. But on the Mini 2 SE, you have a 4K to work with, and depending on how much you crop in, that then reduces the quality as you're trying to find an aspect ratio that works on social media. And then you obviously get tighter shots instead of wide shots. So that's kind of lame, I guess. Con number 3 is this thing shoots in SDR, not HDR, so you're not getting a high dynamic range image like you are on the Mini 3. But that being said, I think you saw the quality of this drone in Thailand and it was pretty solid. Con number 4 is you don't have collision sensors with this, and in a beginner drone when people are just learning to fly, that's kind of a tough thing. So this thing will easily run into a tree and not feel bad about it, but you will. So just be careful out there. Number 5 is on a budget drone like this, you don't get any of the hyperlapse features, and DJI is known for those. You can get some really cool edits out of it, but not on the Mini 4K. 2 more cons for you. Number 6 is probably the biggest one for me, and it's sensor size. So on the Mini 3, you get an aperture of 1.7, which means it lets in more light, and you get a bigger sensor, which allows in more light too. That just means at sunrise and sunset, you're gonna get a better quality image out of the Mini 3. But on the Mini 4K, it's good, but you just have to be careful because like as you enter blue hour and things like that, you're gonna get a little bit more of a noisy image. You can clean that up in post and things like that, but I just thought you should be aware it does have a smaller sensor with a higher aperture. And number 7, I flew the Mini 2 SE, which is the same size as the Mini 4K in Greece, and I almost lost it with a gust of wind. So these things are really light, and if you're by the ocean or on mountaintops and things like this, just be careful because it could be
critically low battery warning,
and you often need sport mode for that. An emergency landing with the Mini 2. As of this video, I still own the Mini 2 SE, the Mini 4K, and the Mini 3. So what are my recommendations? If you're browsing Marketplace, you've never owned a drone before, the seller has a really good rating. I would say the Mini 2 SE is still a really good option. You don't necessarily need the 4K. However, they don't really sell the 2 SE anymore. They do sell the 4K. When it goes on sale, I would highly recommend going for that as a first drone ever. You're gonna be fine with either one of them, specifically if you're shooting in daylight. For the Mini 3, oftentimes that goes on sale and you do get some noticeable quality jumps in the Mini 3. Sensor size is a big one, lower aperture, HDR, and then if your priority is shooting vertical, I would highly recommend saving for the extra money there. But if your first drone ever is gonna be the Mini 2 SE or Mini 4K, you can't go wrong. If you're curious about the Mini 2 SE or Mini 3, I'll link them somewhere here and go watch those next. We'll see you in the next one. Matty out. Peace.